Can you retire on SCHD by 2041? If you're building a dividend portfolio with SCHD, the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, and you're wondering whether 15 years from now you could genuinely walk away from your job and live off the payouts, stay with me. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it takes to get there. SCHD is one of the most widely held dividend ETFs in the country, and 2041 is 15 years away from where we're sitting right now. That's enough runway for compounding to do real work instead of just contributions carrying the whole load. So the question isn't whether SCHD works as a retirement tool over time. We already know dividend growth investing works. The question is what it actually takes, in real dollars per month, to turn SCHD into a full income replacement by a specific date, and whether that number is something an actual household could hit. Let's find out together, with real math instead of guesses. Quick housekeeping before we get into it. SCHD trades around $34 a share. It holds just over 100 stocks selected for financial strength, profitability, and a track record of consistent dividend payments, and it charges a tiny expense ratio of 0.06%. That works out to $6 a year on every $10,000 invested. SCHD tracks the Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100 Index, and it's been running since 2011. So we've got 15 years of real performance history behind it already, which happens to be the same length of time we're about to project forward. The current dividend yield sits at about 3.3%, paid out quarterly, not monthly, so you're getting 4 payments a year that typically land in March, June, September, and December. SCHD's dividend itself has grown by roughly 9% a year on average over the last 5 years, meaning the payout per share keeps climbing as the underlying companies raise what they pay out. Names like Abbott Labs, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, United Health, Procter & Gamble, Verizon, Chevron, and PepsiCo currently make up the largest slice of the fund, and every one of them has decades of raising payments to shareholders rather than cutting them. SCHD also spreads that exposure across sectors rather than betting on one corner of the market, with healthcare, consumer staples, energy, and industrials each making up a meaningful slice of the fund. That mix is part of why the dividend has kept growing through different kinds of years, since no single industry downturn can knock out the whole portfolio's income at once. Since its 2011 launch, SCHD has delivered an annualized return north of 13%, including a genuinely unusual rally over the past year. That 13% figure is elevated by 12 unusually strong months, so we'll treat it as our optimistic scenario, not our baseline. Our baseline for every calculation in this video is a conservative 8%, and anytime you hear the word conservative from here on, that's the number in play. Now let's define what retiring on SCHD actually means in dollars. It means building a portfolio large enough that the dividend income alone, without selling a single share or touching your principal, covers your living expenses indefinitely. Let's use 3 realistic income levels. A lean $25,000 a year, covering rent and basics in a lot of lower-cost parts of the country. A moderate $40,000 a year, closer to a livable, if modest, full-time income. And a comfortable $60,000 a year, which starts to feel like a genuine replacement for a real job. $25,000 a year needs a portfolio of about $757,000. $40,000 a year needs roughly $1.2 million, and $60,000 a year needs close to $1.8 million. Those numbers don't change no matter what year we're targeting because they're driven purely by the yield, not the timeline. What changes is how realistic they are to reach, and that's entirely a function of how much time you give the plan to work. Let's use the moderate target, $1.2 million, generating $40,000 a year in income, and ask the real question. Starting from $0 today, what monthly contribution gets you there by 2041? At our conservative 8%, it's $3,503 a month for 15 straight years. At the historical rate closer to 13%, it drops to $2,117 a month. So is $3,500 a month realistic? For plenty of households, no, not on its own. Stick with me though, because the next few minutes cover what happens with an existing head start, what's achievable at more modest contribution levels, and what this looks like if you keep going past 2041 instead of stopping there. Let's meet Marcus. He's 34, He's been meaning to start a dividend portfolio for about 2 years, and today he finally opens a brokerage account and commits to putting in $1,000 a month into SCHD. Every dividend gets automatically reinvested through DRIP, dividend reinvestment, which means instead of that cash sitting idle, it immediately buys more shares of SCHD the day it's paid out. Those new shares then earn their own dividends the following quarter, buying still more shares on top of that, and the snowball builds on itself quietly every 90 days without Marcus doing anything at all. In the early years, almost none of Marcus's growth comes from the dividends themselves. It's mostly his own contributions stacking up. By 2029, 3 years in, Marcus has crossed $40,000. By 2032, 6 years in, he's passed $92,000. By 2035, 9 years in, he's crossed $157,000, and the dividend income alone is now over $5,000 a year. Before we get to year 12, let me pause for a quick second. If you're finding this breakdown useful, please drop a like and hit subscribe. Your support helps this channel continue to produce educational dividend investing videos like this one. By 2038, 12 years in, he's at $240,000. And by 2041, the finish line for our question, Marcus has roughly $346,000 at the conservative rate, generating just over $11,400 a year in dividend income, close to $950 a month, entirely passive. At the historical growth rate instead, that same $1,000 a month grows to about $572,000 by 2041, throwing off close to $19,000 a year in dividends, or $1,500 a month. That's real, meaningful income. It's not the full $40,000 target we set out chasing, but it's not far off the $25,000 lean target either, especially at the historical growth rate. $1,000 a month, held for 15 years, gets a normal household most of the way to a genuinely life-changing number. So here's the honest verdict, in 3 parts. Scenario 1. If you're starting from zero and can commit somewhere between $2,000 and $3,500 a month, full retirement on SCHD by 2041 is a legitimate math-backed target, not a fantasy. Scenario 2. If you already have a 6-figure head start sitting in a 401k, an old brokerage account, or savings you could redirect, that monthly number drops fast. Scenario 3. If neither of those describes you right now, you still walk away from this video with a real number for what your actual contribution builds. So we cover all of our bases. Let's look at other monthly investment amounts. $500 a month starting today builds to roughly $173,000 by 2041 at the conservative rate, close to $480 a month in passive income. $1,500 a month builds past $500,000, past $1,400 a month in income. And $2,000 a month, a serious commitment but a realistic one for dual-income households prioritizing this, builds to roughly $692,000 at the conservative rate, or past $1.1 million at the historical rate, which is genuinely within reach of the full $40,000 retirement target on its own. The gap between meaningful supplemental income and actual retirement by 2041 mostly comes down to how much you can commit each month and how long you've already been sitting on the sidelines. Next, let's talk about what happens if Marcus doesn't stop contributing in 2041. This is genuinely one of the most important charts in the entire video, so don't tune out here. If Marcus keeps contributing that same $1,000 a month past 2041 and simply leaves it alone, by 2046, 20 years in, he's sitting on roughly $589,000 at our conservative rate. By 2056, 30 years in, he's just under $1.5 million, generating close to $50,000 a year in dividend income by itself, clearing our moderate $40,000 retirement target with real room to spare. At the historical growth rate instead of the conservative one, that 30-year number climbs past $4.8 million. 15 years isn't some hard ceiling on what this account can do. It's the point where the math finally starts looking like real retirement money, and the growth only accelerates from there the longer it's left to compound. Let's talk about what could go wrong, because I want to be fully transparent with you. SCHD's yield moves inversely with its share price, so if the fund drops during a downturn, your income doesn't necessarily fall with it. But your account balance will, and that's uncomfortable to watch even while the dividend checks keep arriving on schedule. That 13% since inception return we mentioned earlier includes an unusually strong recent stretch that may not repeat over the next 15 years. Assuming it continues indefinitely is the easiest way to end up disappointed with this plan, so build your real-world expectations around the conservative number and treat the historical number as a pleasant surprise rather than a promise. One more practical note before we close. Where you hold this matters almost as much as how much you contribute. Inside a Roth IRA, this entire dividend stream grows and eventually gets withdrawn without owing the IRS anything further, assuming you follow the account rules. Inside a regular taxable brokerage account, most of SCHD's dividends qualify for lower long-term capital gains tax rates rather than your regular income rate, which still helps, just not as much as tax-free growth does. If retirement income is genuinely the goal, run these same contribution numbers inside a Roth IRA first and only overflow into a taxable account once you've maxed out what the tax-advantaged space allows for the year. So, can you retire on SCHD by 2041? For a household that can commit somewhere in the $2,000 to $3,000 a month range, or for anyone sitting on a six-figure head start already, yes, genuinely, with the math to back it up. For everyone else, the honest answer is that you'll build something real, just not the full number, and the size of it depends entirely on what starts going into the account this month instead of next year. 15 years sounds like a long time until you realize it's the same 15 years that already happened since SCHD launched back in 2011, and anyone who started investing in it that day is living proof of what this timeline can actually do. Do you think you could retire on SCHD in 15 years, or perhaps in 20 or 25 years? Let me know in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.